from what they received earlier. So it is my considered way forward that we will stand down the education fund, but proceed with the other funds. There are other funds which are in Nandi County, which we did not invite them to come before us. I think at that point we will combine those funds with the education funds, when we hope that the inconsistencies in the responses will not be there. So just to avoid a lot of issues, we will stand down the education fund, but proceed with the other funds.
Chair, well, I agree with the procedure that this issue, because this issue of education fund is very critical. The issue of bursary is very critical. The issue of even list of beneficiaries that were awarded bursary, it's a serious issue. So I agree that we stand down then it, but Chair, so that it becomes lesson to others. The governor must apologize to the committee for an intent to mislead this committee. Because if the committee was not keen, and I think there is a perception by these entities to assume that senators are too busy not to notice the inconsistency. So as a lesson to the others, he must apologize and step down his documentation for an intention to misrepresent facts, to mislead the committee with an intention of an outcome that he himself knows. So, Chair, so that this committee moves in a neat manner, and I agree that this education fund, we reschedule until the inconsistencies are correct. The governor should apologize and withdraw his so that we can proceed with others as per the tradition of parliament.
Okay, before the governor says something, I think the principal person who prepared these responses is one Alfred Lagat, who is the CEC for planning. I would like you to explain to this committee about these inconsistencies and take note that the committee takes seriously the issues of responses. That's why at the beginning we always ask the auditors and the clerk whether the responses are in the right format and substance, and that they have been processed within the required timelines. So can you explain this anomaly?
Thank you, Chair, and the committee. As the governor said, is that the document before us is really a lot of work went into preparing the one that we forwarded to the Senate. And upon review, we thought that since it's for the record, let's have a summarized version that will really save the committee time, because when you look at what we submitted, so we thought, since it's also going to be used by ourselves at the county, let's give the summarized copy before the committee, but we also ensure that the Senate has this document that really we have step-by-step actions that we intend to take at the county to sort the issues that are before us. So it is a product of us being very serious about the queries and giving much details. And in our wisdom and in consultation with the OAG, we thought that really the documents being one and the same, most of the issues that are in the detailed document would arise in our discussions and would form part of the comments that the governor would make, and also some of the verbal responses that I would also make myself. But in principle, really, we don't have materially different documents. It's a summary of the former. Thank you, Chair.
You know, as a procedure in this committee, and Lagat, you have appeared before us severally, we encourage as much information as possible to be documented for our record purpose. In as much as we have the handset, where what you say is also very important, but the responses are going to be read verbatim before we even ask a question. So if we have a detailed response, that is even good for us. It's even good for us so that we reduce the number of questions we are going to ask you. But if you summarize it, then you even make the meeting longer because the questions will be many, they'll be back and forth. So I think what you had done earlier in your initial document, that is what you should just have sent. Because some of us have already read what you sent on email and we were prepared based on what you had sent on email. And then now when we come to the meeting, we see a different document. You know, it causes confusion. So yes, you were thinking about summarizing, but us, we want more details. And that is the procedure, that whatever is submitted to us must be the same as what has been submitted to the auditor, because the auditor is going to advise the committee based on the responses. So if the responses to the auditor are different from the responses to the committee, or the responses to the clerk who is supposed to advise the members is different from the responses that have been tabled, then it becomes a problem. So I think that one.
The last one.
Yes.
I don't know. OAG, don't you find it weird that the client, you advise them to summarize, because that is the response of CPA, because he says